Charles Bukowski once said, "The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence." And that's precisely what we're witnessing in the United States today. America, once a formidable force on the global stage, now resembles Jerry from the cartoons, constantly outwitted and stumbling over its own decisions. Welcome to the Lectures. Today, we're delving into how Trump's actions are poised to cost America dearly. On April 2nd, 2025, President Donald Trump announced a sweeping 34% tariff on Chinese imports.
Many countries have taken advantage of us, the likes of which nobody even thought was possible.
He claimed that the US was being exploited by foreign nations and that these tariffs would rectify the imbalance. However, this move sent shockwaves through global markets. Within days, trillions of dollars were wiped off the stock market. April 7th, 2025 marked one of the worst days for global stock exchanges in recent memory. China, unsurprisingly, retaliated with equivalent tariffs on American goods. Not to be outdone, the US escalated the situation by imposing an additional 50% tariff on Chinese products on April 9th. China responded in kind, leading to a tit-for-tat trade war that saw tariffs between the two nations exceed 100%. It felt less like international diplomacy and more like a reckless game, with leaders treating global economies like a video game, oblivious to the real-world consequences for ordinary citizens. Tariffs in themselves aren't inherently detrimental. They can be tools for protecting domestic industries. However, implementing them without thorough analysis or consultation is a recipe for disaster. A glaring example of this haphazard approach was evident when Trump presented a board during a speech claiming that China imposed a 67% tariff on US goods. In reality, that figure represented the trade deficit, not an actual tariff rate. Such misinformation only served to further erode America's credibility on the world stage. Adding to the absurdity, tariffs were also imposed on uninhabited islands near Antarctica, territories devoid of human life, inhabited only by penguins. It's decisions like these that leave many questioning the administration's grasp on reality. The repercussions of these tariffs were swift and severe. Prominent figures like YouTuber MrBeast highlighted the economic impracticalities. He tweeted that producing his American chocolate brand outside the US would be more cost-effective due to the inflated prices of imported raw materials. China targeted American farmers and automobile manufacturers with its retaliatory tariffs. Canada imposed a 25% tariff on US poultry and air conditioning units. Europe focused on American steel mills and slaughterhouses. Ironically, these sectors predominantly employ Trump supporters. It's as if the world decided that if they couldn't directly challenge Trump, they would make his base feel the pain of his policies. Trump often cites William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, as an inspiration. McKinley's protectionist policies are believed by many historians to have contributed to the economic downturn leading to the Great Depression. Now, under Trump's leadership, America seems to be teetering on the brink of a similar economic catastrophe. The nation, once a staunch advocate for free trade, now faces the threat of a global boycott. Respect, once earned, can be swiftly lost. And when a country loses respect on the international stage, allies become scarce and favors are few and far between. Let's explore another perspective as well. On February 28, 2025, President Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Reports suggest that Trump, seemingly disinterested in the gravity of the situation, treated the meeting with a lack of seriousness.
Have you said thank you once? this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said
Zelensky was not only dismissed, but also publicly humiliated by Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. This behavior was particularly egregious given Ukraine's history. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Ukraine relinquished its nuclear arsenal in exchange for security assurances from the US, the UK, and Russia. Following the debacle at the White House, NATO countries convened a meeting to support Ukraine. Notably, the US was not invited. This exclusion underscores America's diminishing influence and the world's growing inclination to operate without its involvement. America, long proud of its democratic ideals, now finds itself under the influence of oligarchs. Trump, facing numerous legal challenges, found an ally in Elon Musk, the world's richest man. Their alliance was solidified before the elections, with mutual interests aligning. Within days of Trump's re-election, Musk was appointed to lead DOGE, a newly established agency aimed at reducing federal expenditures. Musk took on the role with gusto, terminating thousands of federal employees, drawing comparisons to Vince McMahon's dramatic firings in professional wrestling. But Musk's ambitions didn't stop at domestic affairs. He waded into European politics by expressing support for Germany's far-right AfD party, a group known for its controversial stances on historical events. The backlash was immediate. Tesla sales in Germany plummeted, and other American brands faced boycotts across Europe. In a matter of months, Trump's return to power has already shaken the foundations of America's global standing. What was once a beacon of diplomacy, stability, and free market leadership is now being perceived as unpredictable, aggressive, and increasingly isolated. The irony is almost poetic. A president who vowed to put America first may end up putting America last on the world stage. Tariffs meant to protect American workers are backfiring, as allies impose countermeasures and domestic industries feel the heat. Diplomacy has been replaced with disrespect. Competence is overshadowed by ego. And while Trump's base may cheer his defiance and strongman persona, the cost of such bravado is adding up economically, diplomatically, and morally. Long-standing alliances are being fractured, global partners are re-evaluating their dependence on the US, and America's soft power, its ability to influence through example, is eroding fast. But this isn't just about Trump. It's about the system that enables showmanship over statecraft. It's about a nation where populism is rewarded even if it comes at the expense of logic and leadership. The world isn't waiting for America to catch up anymore. If the country continues on this trajectory, it won't just lose money, it will lose something far more valuable: trust, influence, and its place as a global leader. The bill for bravado is coming due, and it's America that will pay the price. And on that note, it's time for us to call it a day. Subscribe to our channel and do click the bell icon.